It's good to dream. Hank here for Free Podcast Tools. Today I want to talk about my microphone wish list, if you will. I have 6 microphones on that list right now. I had to pare it down because there were a lot more on the technical list, but I pared it down to 6 that I really want to acquire at some point in my lifetime. So we'll start out with the cheapest and work our way up. So the cheapest one that I want on the list would be the electro-voice RE20 in black. It retails for $450. I would really like to own that microphone. It is the only major dynamic microphone that I have never had one of my own. Now, I've used them. I have a lot of friends that have them, the vintage ones and the new ones, but I've never had one to call my own, to use day to day, and have it for an extended period of time on my voice to see if I like it better than the Shure SM7B. Outside of the Shure SM7B, the RE20 is the most widespread dynamic microphone in use that I can think of. Now, I've owned the Heil PR40, Rode Procaster, SM7B, all the top dynamic microphones with the exception of the electro-voice RE20. And I think I'm going to have this microphone in the next several months. I think I will probably have it by the spring or in the spring. The rest of the microphones on my list require phantom power. Next up would be the Lewitt LCT540 Sub-Zero. This microphone, I fell in love with it when I was watching a review of it, and the gentleman compared it to the Neumann TLM-103. He was going back and forth, and I was thinking to myself, I think I want to own that microphone. It retails for approximately $700 US, and it's just got a great look to it. Fantastic sound. Lewitt has really knocked it out of the park with some of their microphones. This Sub-Zero is no exception. I think it straddles the fence of cost-effective while having a phenomenal sound, because they do make higher-end microphones. They have some that are even pricier than $700. But I think this straddles that perfect balance of cost versus performance. And that's why I want this. I think it punches well above $700 in quality, and it just looks magnificent. Another phenomenal looking microphone and sounds like silky smooth butter being poured down your ears is the Austrian Audio OC18. I really want to get that microphone. They make another version of the microphone. I think it's 818. I could be incorrect on that, but it's got some bells and whistles that I don't need because I'm not into music. I think the Lewitt 540 and the Austrian Audio OC18 being relatively close in price, I would probably just get one or the other unless money were really flowing in at that time or something. Then I'd definitely get both. Next on my list, and it's been on my list for a long time, retailing for $1,000 US roughly, the Sennheiser MKH416. Oh my goodness. I have several friends that own this, all audio engineers, and they use it on voiceover work. And I was kind of surprised because it's a shotgun condenser microphone, so I was kind of surprised to see them have it on the desk just coming right up to them with the windscreen on it. And it sounds so good. But I definitely, at some point in my lifetime, want to own that microphone and just be able to pull it out, use it for a project, put it away, have it as a reference mic, maybe, compare this to that, and so on and so forth. I've wanted this for a long time, and I think one day I will get it. Just 2 more microphones on my list, but if you like my channel, I would really love it if you would subscribe to the channel and like this video and share out my content to people who you think would like it. I'd really appreciate it, and I have a lot more content to come, including putting this microphone on this cheap audio interface. This is the Tascam TM70 microphone. I'm going to pair it with this cheap audio interface and see if we can get some decent sound out of it. And I'll compare it to what I'm running right now. It's running through the Tascam Mixcast 4, no processing whatsoever. And I'm also going to compare this microphone to the Shure MV7X, the Rode PodMic, and the Zoom ZDM1, and other microphones. But back to the list. The second to the last microphone on my list is the Townsend Labs Sphere L22. This microphone caught my attention because I saw a YouTube video on it where it comes with some plugins that attempt to EQ the microphone to make it sound like other microphones. So there's like a whole list of microphones, and they give them just a slightly different name just so they're not infringing, I guess, on the actual companies that make those microphones. But they're trying to make it sound like all these other different microphones, and people say it's amazing. I've never got to play around with one, but one day I want to own that microphone, and I want to plug it in and use it next to the microphones it's modeling. And from what I understand, they continue to add more microphones that it can sound like. I think that's such a cool idea to try to give you the sound of a microphone without necessarily having to own that particular microphone. So it's kind of like the mimicking microphone, and maybe gimmicky a little bit, maybe, but at $1,500, I'm pretty sure there's some quality in there. And the last microphone on my list, I'm sure many of you know what it's going to be, but I have wanted to own, as far back as I can remember, I've wanted to own the Neumann U87 AI. Now, I have a lot of audio engineer friends that say you want to get a vintage U87, and that's phenomenal and great, but where am I going to find one? I don't know. So I will be more than happy to own a U87 AI. And the microphone retails, make sure you're sitting down. Are you seated? The microphone retails for $3,650 US. You can't make that up. That's a lot of money. But wouldn't it be a phenomenal mic to have in your toolkit, just to be able to pull that baby out and do some special projects with it and then put her away? I want to build a microphone locker that is just outstanding. Just like a golfer, I want to be able to reach into my bag of tricks and say, I need this particular microphone for this particular job, task, what have you, and then put it away, put something else on there. I really enjoy doing that. I do it on a small scale, obviously, but one day I hope to be able to play around with all these great microphones. But what I'm really curious about, what are your top 5 microphones that you want to own someday? I'd definitely be interested if you put your top 5 microphones down in the comments down below, because I know we all have different needs. We all have different desires for level of microphones we're looking at, price points, so on and so forth. And I really want to see your list. For more content, subscribe to Free Podcast Tools. I'll catch you next time.